the day before on Friday, the first official results of which give the outgoing president a large lead. At a press conference on the outskirts of Kampala, where social networks are suspended and internet access is severely disrupted, Mr. Wine rejected these initial results, denouncing a real masquerade and claiming to have largely defeated Mr. Museveni, who is running for a sixth term. A few hours later, soldiers surrounded his home, AFP journalists noted. The 38-year-old deputy said he felt threatened. Some soldiers entered his garden and silently pointed him with a pistol, he said. "We certainly won the election and we won it by a large margin," a former Raga singer told reporters earlier. The poll was the subject of the worst rigging ever in Uganda, he said. He promises to provide video evidence once internet access is restored. He said he was aware of thousands of irregularities, citing pre-filled ballots, voters influenced or having received ballots only for the legislative elections and not for the presidential election, or even open and stuffed ballot boxes in certain districts. Popular with Ugandan urban youth, the opponent promised he would unveil a strategy in the coming hours. The Electoral Commission has rejected these accusations of fraud and asked Mr. Wine, Robert Kyagulanyi of his real name, to demonstrate to the country how the results are rigged. At least 54 dead. While waiting for the full results expected by Saturday afternoon, the first counts give outgoing President Yoweri Museveni, who has ruled Uganda since 1986, a large lead. 3/4 of the 44 million Ugandans are under 30 and have never known anyone else in power. The 76-year-old authoritarian leader leads with 62.74% of the vote against 29.34% for Mr. Wine, according to a tally given at the end of the afternoon, based on half of the 34,600 polling stations in the country. Patrick Amuriat, another opposition candidate, won 4.11% of the vote. None of the 8 other contenders in the running reaches the 1% mark. Some 18 million voters were called to the polls on Thursday to conclude a particularly violent presidential campaign. In November, at least 54 people were killed by police in violence triggered by yet another arrest of Mr. Wine, who has been arrested many times since 2018. If Thursday's ballot generally took place in calm throughout the country according to the Electoral Commission and the police, Bobi Wine denounced him violence. A diplomat based in Kampala told AFP on Friday on condition of anonymity that isolated violence had taken place, as well as numerous irregularities, but that no sign of massive manipulation of the vote had been found. Authoritarian president. The United States, the European Union, the United Nations and rights organizations have expressed concern over the integrity and transparency of the election. Only one foreign organization, the African Union, sent observers. The United States canceled the sending of an observation mission in the face of the Ugandan authorities' refusal to welcome many of its members. After a campaign under high tension, the rejection of the results by Mr. Wine could prompt his supporters to take to the streets and raise fears of violence. President Museveni warned that violently contesting the results would be considered betrayal. The ruler has ruled Uganda for 35 years. First applauded as a modern leader after the horrors of the regimes of Idi Amin Dada and Milton Obote, he gradually turned into an authoritarian president, crushing all opposition. His hegemonic party, the National Resistance Movement, twice amended the constitution to allow him to remain in power. Always re-elected in the first round, each time with suspicion of fraud, Mr. Museveni is the favorite. In Africa, only Teodoro Obiang Nguema in Equatorial Guinea and Paul Biya in Cameroon have spent more time in power without interruption. The generational shock with Bobi Wine, 2 times younger than him, does not seem to worry him. While his rival campaigned in a heavy helmet and bulletproof vest, M7 openly counted the days between him and another victory.